Well, the left's winning because us white people are afraid to stand up for our own race. And this is thoughts while thinking, and these opinions are mine. And there's nothing wrong with being white and loving and supporting our own race. All the other races do that, so why can't we? We've been shamed into it, and we got to do something about that. We got to move forward. And I can love my white skin and I can love our white history and I can do all that without being a racist. And other races can do the same thing. So stand up for your race, whatever it is, but don't be separating the races because we're basically all one. We got to pull together. And we got to wake up, white man. We got to start standing up for our own race. We got to stand up for our liberties and our freedom, or else it's all going to be gone. And they can't keep shutting us up. We got to speak up and we got to be proud of who we are, just like everybody else can be proud of who they are. We got to move forward with that. And if they can limit our speech on one thing, then you got to know that you've been indoctrinated instead of educated because you got to think for yourself and you got to love who you are, no matter who you are. And those communist fists, they're rubbing right in our nose with this critical race theory, and they're about to punch us out unless we start standing up for our liberties and our own race. And we got to get rid of these left's war on whiteness. We got to get back to trying to get all the races into one, and because we're all one brotherhood. We all breathe the same blood. We all are there. And the critical race theory is just trying to do away with our history, and they're causing a separation and causing one race to hate another. And that's not good. We got to love one another. We got to love one another. And our rights are not coming from the government. They're made from God. That's what our Bill of Rights is all about. And we got to stay with that. And right now they're trying to teach you that the government is all powerful. Well, we don't like all that powerful government. And the school system is why we're not thinking and why we're not thinking critically. And it all started back in 1979 when they started that Department of Education. We got to really think about that. And, once you teach people what they can understand, then you can teach them to understand anything. And that's what this critical race theory is about, teaching you to understand anything. And if you don't have courage to speak up for yourself, you got to develop some moral courage and stand up for what you believe. And you got to believe in your whiteness. You can't be ashamed of your whiteness. And ignorance means fear. And all that ignorance about white people and stuff is made the white people afraid to stand up for their own being. And we got to get back to that. And one of the hardest things to know in life is to know which bridge to cross and which ones to burn. Well, we got to start burning those critical race theories, and we got to start burning those bridges that's teaching us to hate one another. We got to burn those bridges that's separating the races, and we got to get back to being one. We got to pull together. And you don't have to be afraid to speak up for yourself. You speak up and follow your own dreams. You got to fight for your dreams. And all colors have their own dreams, and we got to support one another in fighting for our dreams. We've got to go for that. And it's discouraging how many people are shocked by honesty and how few are shocked by the deceit. We got to think about that, all that deceit that's going on in this critical race theory and the way they're pushing that on us. And we got to get back to what Martin Luther King preached. You got to judge people by their character, not by the color of their skin. Now, we got to think some on that. We got to get back to that. We got to worry about that. We got to go forward. And this black and color and white, we got to get above, keep being versus. We got to pull together because we are one. We are one in this country, and we support one another. And love knows no color. And we got to get back to thinking that. And you have critical race, you get back to critical thinkers and critical thinking is something we got to get back to. And when there's only one race and one mankind, we'll all be free. Well, we all bleed the same blood. It's all red and it's interchangeable, so that makes us a brotherhood. And we got to live that brotherhood, and we got to love one another, and we can move forward with that. We will got to go for no racism, and that includes all colors. We got to get rid of black racism. We got to get rid of brown racism. We got to get rid of white racism. We got to get rid of racism, period. And that's what we got to get back to, and we got to love one another and pull together to do that. I think I'm American patriot, and I think you probably are too. And we got to push for that life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness that our forefathers put together for us. And I think that we, the people, have had about enough of all this critical race theory and separation of races and stuff in the war on whites. I think we can move forward because all colors are beautiful. We got to think about all colors. They all cover. And critical race theory, we got to get it out of our schools. We got to get it out of our systems, and we got to get back to preaching our life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And we got to get back to the truth and let it burn the pants on fire. All those liars out there that are saying how bad we are, and we've been brainwashed, and we've been indoctrinated, and they're saying that all of that, and we can't even think to ourselves. So we got to get back to thinking for ourselves, and that is critical thinking. We got to get back to critical thinking, and we got to love our folks, and we got to love the black folks. We got to love the brown folks, and we got to love the white folks. We all get folksy. I like that folksy business. and and we all are one. We got to get back to that one thing. White race, the black race, the brown race, we're all one. We all bleed the same red blood. And we can't trust Congress because they're the one that's been passing all those laws that's separating us and keeping us trying to fight one race against the other. And that is a shame because we can't stand for that. And we got to stop hating. But Congress has sent every bill out there here lately that makes one race hate the other. I don't believe in that. And we got to get back to critical thinking. And that's reasoning, problem solving, and evaluating, and not telling lies about and recreating history and the war on one race against the other. We got to critical think. We got to get back to teaching that in our schools. And we the people are made to be loved, and we got to love one another. And instead of using one another, and right now the left is using the color and the skin to divide us, and we got to get back to one solidarity. We all got to gather hands and move forward in love and appreciation of the differences in us, and we appreciate your watching. And this is Thoughts While Thinking, and subscribe if you can. I like that. And then it's adios amigos, and we'll see you on the flip side.